Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 6th September 2024. So let's get started. Actually, there are more than 10 articles in our today's newspaper which are relevant from our examination point of view. Okay, so let us see the first article. So see this article, guys. Modi seeks to script Singapore like success stories as India inks MOUs. So what is the keyword that you have to focus in this article? We have to see about India, Singapore relations. Okay, so here the keyword is India, Singapore relations. So do you know the location of Singapore, where it is located? Indonesia. Next. It is in the part of which Asia? South or southeast or like north or west or central? So which part it belongs to? Okay, southeast. So do you know exactly how the relationship or historical relation between India and Singapore? So when we started relationship between these two countries, do you have any idea? No idea. Okay, so what are the things that you have to see from this article is, so recently 4 agreements. So you know that our Prime Minister is on visit to Brunei and as well as Singapore. In his Singapore visit, he signed 4 agreements and you have to see in which area they are and how these agreements will be helpful for our India's growth. So this is an important thing. And even you have to see about history of India-Singapore relations. Because if you want to write any introduction regarding international relations, you can use history part as your introduction in your answer. And you may get question on these 4 agreements in your prelims and as well as in mains. Okay, we have to focus on these things. So here this article says that our Prime Minister, he focused that India's ambition is to replicate Singapore's success. So actually we know that Singapore is one of the successful country in the world. So in the same way, India should become successful country and have to achieve its aim of developed country status by 2024. So this is a thing which mainly emphasized by our Prime Minister in Singapore visit. And even he said that yes, Singapore is very important for India because it is part of our Act East policy. So actually even in our this year which commemorates like 60th anniversary of bilateral relations. If you say with Brunei, so Brunei marks 40th anniversary and now here Singapore marks 60th anniversary of relationship between India and Sri Lanka. So because of this year these two countries are very important from your mains point of view. So if you see the key points from this article, the first one is, yes, we are focusing on ambition for replication. So Modi's vision for India to emulate Singapore reflects as a strategic approach. As you all know that in the same way, if you are focusing on the Brunei also, so Brunei is also very important for India for strategic position, like where it is exactly located. So the same way, Singapore, it is also sharing boundary with Indo-Pacific region. And even if you want to achieve this vision of Indo-Pacific of India, so this Singapore is also very important. Apart from that, here Sri Lanka is, this Singapore is also focusing on our economic development of our country. And even we are focusing on high growth models that we can take from Singapore and we can implement that in our country. And next one here is one important area where we signed memorandum of understanding here is semiconductors. As you all know that in technology wise, if you want to go for development, we need the semiconductors. Without the semiconductors, there will be no growth. So here we are going to enhance our technological capabilities and even we are going to increase our resilience in global supply chains. And if you're having this type of agreements in the semiconductor with the different countries, it will be placing India as a key player in this sector of semiconductors in technology point of view. And even actually, so this 60th year, so we want to commemorate this Tiruvallur. Do you know about this Tiruvallur? Any idea? Especially from South students. From history point of view. Yeah, Tamil. It belongs to Tamil. Actually, if you're reading Tamil literature, you will be knowing about this Tiruvallur. So actually, so in the 60th anniversary of relationship between India and Singapore, so we are establishing Tiruvallur Culture Center. Okay, that is going to be started on that day. So this commemorates 60th anniversary between India and Singapore. So in this way also we are focusing on cultural heritage, because Singapore and India, they share common heritage in this field of Tamil literature. And next one is India is also focusing on Indian diaspora in this Singapore, and we are focusing on improving of bilateral relations, and as well as we are focusing on improving of cultural connections between India and Singapore. Okay, so these are the things, and actually I want to show these things, like where this Singapore is located. Here we will be having this Singapore. So here above we have this Malaysia, and this part is Indonesia, and here we have Malaysia, here we have Brunei, and this part which comes under our Indo-Pacific region, and this is called as Strait of Malacca. Okay, so if you see here, why this Singapore is important for India? So why we need to improve this type of relationship with Singapore? So what we are going to get with the relationship with Singapore? Come on, think. So actually, yes, technology partnership. We'll be getting technology. Friendship treaties. Come on, think. So actually, this Singapore is part of ASEAN. So if you're having the relationship with Singapore, obviously we can have good trade and we can get access to international markets, so that we can improve our economy. And next one here is, we are especially focusing on mutual respect and trust, so that whenever we are having this type of cooperation, it will provide a solid base for the further development between these two countries. And next one here is, Singapore also playing an important role in our India's low-caste and as well as act-east policy. So in this way, we can enhance our cooperation in these fields like security, connectivity, technology, and sustainability. And even we can enhance our economic cooperation, okay, etc. So what are the key agreements? So first one is on digital technologies. So in this digital technologies, we are focusing on cyber security, 5G, supercomputing, quantum computing, and AI. So in this area, we are focusing on especially reskilling of our labor force and as well as upskilling of our workers. And the second important one is semiconductor ecosystem. So we are going to have proper cooperation between these two countries in the semiconductors. Okay, so that we can facilitate investment. We can get investment by Singaporean countries in Indian semiconductor sector. And even regarding health also, we are focusing on joint research, innovation, human resource development, healthcare, pharmaceuticals. So in this way, what happens? We can promote our healthcare sectors. Okay, and even we can promote Indian healthcare professionals to send to Singapore. And the last area we are focusing is skill development. So especially we are targeting education cooperation and technical and vocational training, so that we can enhance the skill development initiatives in our country. So these are the 4 areas where agreement had been signed between India and Singapore. Okay, so this is very important. And say this article, JKPC manifesto vows to restore Article 370, Article 35A and Jammu and Kashmir statehood. So here, I think many of you are beginners, so you have to know about what is Article 370 and Article 35A. So actually, if you go to the recent past, that is in 2019, that too on exactly August 5th and August 6th, so the government took a major step, that is revocation of 2 articles, Article 370 and Article 35A of Indian Constitution. And now here many organizations in Kashmir, they want to bring the situation that is before 2019, how it will be like. They want to restore these 2 articles again, and even they want statehood. So actually, so not only this one step taken by the government on this August 5th and August 6th, that is revocation of Article 370 and Article 35A, but even government came up with this Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act of 2019, and it removed the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir, and divided this Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories. Okay, union territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Next one is Ladakh. So now here many organizations in this Jammu and Kashmir, they want to restore the condition how it would be like before 2019, and they want to even restore the statehood. So here you have to know about what is this Article 370 is about and Article 35A. So now if you see this article, it is saying that Jammu and Kashmir People's Conference. So this is one organization. So it released a manifesto, and in this manifesto they want to restore Article 370 and Article 35A and as well as statehood of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so if you see here, if you see this kind of manifestos, and what we can understand that they want to restore their culture. They want to restore Article 370, Article 35A, so which is mainly signifying their deeper culture and as well as political reclamation of these Kashmiris. And they want to restore their historical identity, and even they want to restore the autonomy of Jammu and Kashmir. So this is the one important thing we can understand. And second important one is we can understand the political dynamics, what is happening in Jammu and Kashmir. So after restoration of this, after revocation of these two articles, even many people of Jammu and Kashmir, they are kept under prison. So actually these groups, they are demanding for releasing of these political prisoners. Okay. So this is also an ongoing tension. So if you want to resolve this kind of tension, we need to have a proper dialogue to address the grievances against what is happening in that so and so area. And next one here is we can understand even socio-economic impact. So if there is backlashing of this Kashmir is happening, that will be obviously having the impact on the socio-economic conditions. And actually, so these people, they are fighting for employment and as well as education. So if you understand once the provision of Article 370 and Article 35A, you can appreciate this point, why these people are fighting, why these people want this restoration of these two articles. Okay, let us focus on that. So Article 370 was introduced in our Indian Constitution in year 1949. That means we can understand that whenever we had our constitution, there was no provision of Article 370. Okay, and at that time they said that this provision, it is for a temporary period, it is not a permanent. And actually it provides a special status to Jammu and Kashmir, and even this article which permits the state to draft its own constitution, and even it restricts the power of parliament on the state powers. So these two, the important things that you need to know. So first one is it gives special category status, and even it said the state to come up with own constitution, and even Indian parliament powers had been restricted on the state. Okay, so here that is the one thing. So because of this Article 370, Jammu and Kashmir, they are having their own constitution, and they are having their own flag, and as well as they are having their own penal code. Okay, so these three things that you have to remember. And what is Article 35A? So Article 35A, it came from this Article 370 itself, and it was introduced through this presidential order in year 1954. So here under this Article 35A, it is giving power to state legislature to define who are permanent residents of the state and what are the special rights and what are the special privileges they are going to get. Okay, so what are the special rights for these Kashmiri citizens are? The first one is they are eligible for only public employment. So there is no provision of entering of other state people into the public employment of Jammu and Kashmir. And next one is, so here acquisition of immovable property in state. So in the state also, if they want to purchase anything, the state people only eligible, but there is no provision of other state people to buy the properties in that state. And next one here is settlement in different parts of the state. And next one is they have the access to the scholarship of that state, and they will be having the voting rights, and even any other aids which the government is providing. So they are the people only eligible. Okay, only the citizens of Jammu and Kashmir are eligible, but not the other states. Okay, so these are the special provisions. And whenever now this article is removed, means what happens? So other people, they are also competitive in the public employment, and even others of other people of other states, they are also buying the property in other states. What happened? They are feeling insecure. So because of this, now organizations, they are fighting for Again, restoration of these two articles in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. Yeah, say this article, Kerala tops citizen-centric reforms categories in Centred's latest ranking. So what is this article is talking about? Okay, citizen-centric reforms. So if Kerala is topping that, then what will be the importance or what you can get? What it's mean to you? Why you have to read this? So do you know what is citizen-centric reforms? So if you read in governance, always we will be talking about inclusive governments. That means we have to include each and every one in our governance making process. So if Kerala is topping the citizen-centric reforms, what it means to governance? Are you getting my question? Come on, tell me what it means. Come on, think, guys. YouTube students, so please let me know. Okay, so from which topic you can see this article? From governance point of view. And actually you have to know about business reforms action plan. So actually this business reform action plan is released by Department for Promotion of Industries and Internal Trade. So in this report here, Kerala is topping. That means it will be helpful for doing business, ease of doing business. Yes or no? Okay, now let us see this article in detail. So this article is saying that Kerala has emerged as the country's leader in 2 categories of business-centric reforms and as well as 7 categories of citizen-centric reforms. So this rank is given by Union Ministry of Commerce Industry. So Kerala had been ranked first in even business-centric reforms and second one is even in the citizen-centric reforms. So what can you understand now? So it is a good place for doing business, yes or no? And next, yes, they are making policies which are centric for the people. Okay, they are taking people into consideration. And whenever this ranking, so whenever it is topping this business centric reforms, it can attract more investments. So whenever it is attracting more investments, it can create more employment here and the state GDP will be going up. So whenever state GDP is going up, if you're comparing with the other states, inequality will be rising. So again, that will be problem for, so it is good for state, but it is again problem for central government. Okay, so how this problem can be addressed? Actually, there is one more article in our today's newspaper interlinking with this. Okay, so here we have Finance Commission. Yes or no? What is the role of Finance Commission? Which article? Article 280. So what is the role of Finance Commission? It will be providing grants to states. So how many types of devolution is there? Vertical devolution and horizontal devolution. So if the states are showing inequality, so which thing will be affected here? Horizontal devolution or vertical devolution? What is horizontal devolution? Center will be giving funds to states. Horizontal means between states. So which will be getting affected? The center will be giving less funds to developed states compared to the less developed. Again, can you connect this? So actually there is one article regarding vertical devolution in our text and context. So because of this, I am saying everything. Everything is interlinked. Okay, let us see this article. So states, it is focusing on a single window system and is focusing on efficient utility permits. So when we can say that so and so state is having good business environment, if I want to start any business, so what are the requirements for starting of business? Capital, land, labor, entrepreneurs, right? So if I am an entrepreneur, so what are the requirements? For example, if I want to set up a company in this Ashok Nagar, so what I need? Apart from capital and labor. So even government need to support me. So whatever the government policies are there, so that should be in a conducive environment. If they are supporting me, obviously I'm doing. So in that, we need to get proper easy clearances. So even in our yesterday's class, we discussed about smart cities mission. So only 90% had been complete. So 10% had been delayed because of lack of clearances, lack of land acquisition. So here this article is saying that they are following a single window system. That means if I want to get any permission for setting up of my business, so I can apply in one portal, everything will be going on. So I can even getting one tracking ID. For example, if you're ordering anything on Amazon or anything, so after once your order is placed, you will be getting one tracking ID and you can see where it is exactly. So the same way, by using the single window system, so it will be increasing our business environment. Okay, clear? So that we can enhance our ease of doing business. So we can attract more investment, more growth, employment rate increased, and even income of people increased, standard of living is increased, everything will be getting into the place. Okay, and even Kerala is also showing some leadership reforms. Reforms in business. They are also coming up with reforms in their governance. They are taking citizen into consideration. And especially they are focusing on citizen in governance process, service delivery, so that we can take an example or a good best practice of state of Kerala and we can implement in other state where they are performing poor. And next one is even, especially there is 95% of positive feedback reflects in Kerala reforms. So here, whenever they are doing survey regarding satisfaction in this business or any support to environment for economic activities, 95% people they are showing positive feedback. That means it is a very good feedback. And actually they are following, as I said, which is single window system, which enhances accessibility, it also increases efficiencies, and even it will be reducing bureaucratic hurdles for business owners, citizens, etc. And even they are focusing on local bodies. So local bodies are very important for grassroots democracies. So actually these local self-governance bodies, they are not present in our constitution, right? So they are added by 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act of which year? 1992. 1992. Okay, so why? Because yes, we have center and we have different states. Whether central can take care of all the states, and we have state governments. So within the states we have many districts, many talukas, many areas. So is that one chief minister can take care of that? No, right? So if you want to ensure the grassroots democracy, we need this kind of local self-government bodies, and especially in this Kerala, so they are very success compared to that of even other states. So here, because of this decentralized implementation of policies happen, and because of this, people they are satisfied and they give 95% of positive reviews. Okay, so whenever the people are satisfied, then only we can say that is an effective governance system and it is an inclusive governance system. So we want people to be served. Okay, so that is the thing which happened in this Kerala. And even they are using some technological driven solutions, that mainly indicates that Kerala is also focusing on forward thinking approach that will be providing modern solutions for the citizens and as well as businesses. Okay, so that is the thing. And even they are focusing on improving of public distribution system, transportation sectors, so that they are focusing on providing benefits in everyday life of people. They are targeting people at the end so that they are getting the good results. So if you're talking about this business reforms action plan, there is a chance of getting prelims question. So this plan had been introduced in year 2015 and they are focusing on especially ease of doing business. And why they came up with this plan, it is to encourage healthy competition between the states. And even they want to attract more investment such that they can increase ease of doing business in each state. And actually this ranking will be given by DPIIT. Okay, that is the thing that you have to remember. And what is the aim? The aim it is to increase this investor confidence, and even we want to increase business friendly climate, and even we want to ease this ease of doing business, and even we want to introduce healthy competition between the business. Okay, so these are things that you have to remember from this article. Clear? Okay, let us see another article. Say this article, close ties between agencies globally needed to tackle new age crimes, says official. So what is the keyword? New age crimes. So can you give me some examples of new age crimes? Yes, cyber security issues, cyber threats. Next. Huh? Okay, online scams. Okay, next. Come on, tell me examples. What are the new age crimes? Huh? Drugs. Okay, next. You are using advanced technologies. So you should know. AI, okay, next. Women trafficking, deepfakes, yes, next. Dark internet, okay, next. Good terms. Next. Tell me. Okay, so we are having cyber-enabled financial frauds. Yes or no? So your bank account will be get hacked, and within seconds the amount will be transferred to another accounts. So many movies also depicting that. No. Next. So we have online radicalization. So they are they are present in one area, but they are creating communal violence in our country. Yes or no? For example, in Sitarama movie, they are present in Pakistan, but by using radios, they are inciting radicalization in India, especially in Jammu and Kashmir region. And next one is even transnational organized crime networks. For example, we have sleeper cells, terrorism, yes, money laundering, and drug trafficking, human trafficking, organ trafficking. So these are the modern era crimes. So here this article is saying that if you want to address these challenges in the new era, we need to have global commitments. What is the meaning of this? Are you understanding my question? So why the need of international cooperation for addressing this kind of new age crimes? What is the role of global coordination? Come on, you can do it. Mm. Okay, so for what we need international cooperation? Okay, to tackle. How exactly? How can you tackle? How? How? How accountable? So how international cooperation will be helpful to tackle this kind of issues? What we need exactly? Yeah, which sharing? Yeah, only technology sharing? Yes, information sharing we need. We need technology sharing. Apart from that, do you know any organization which will be dealing with the crimes between countries? Uh, Indian organization. Have you heard this? Not CBI, CBI within India. Interpol. Interpol. Okay, you have to know those also. So recently, our 10th Interpol Liaison Officers Conference has happened. Okay, so because of this, they gave the importance of new age era crimes are increasing day by day. For that, we need global commitment. Clear? So here you have to know about some facts regarding this. What is Interpol and what are the responsibilities and what is the organization mandate? Okay, members, everything that you have to know. Are you getting my points? Or okay, so let us see the context. Union Home Secretary said that new age crimes, for example, cyber-enabled financial frauds, online radicalization, transnational organized crime networks, they were not confined to borders. They are crossing the borders. And people, they are in other countries but controlling another country's internal issues. So because of this, we need to have interconnected world for proper information sharing, technology sharing, and even they have to give access for other countries' organization to enter into there and to do investigations there. Okay, so we need international police cooperation for solving of this kind of issues. And if you see details, it says that the international dispersal of crime and criminals, they has been enhanced. They are doing crime in one country within matter of hours, they are shifting to other countries. So because of this, we need proper investigation in abroad also. So we need to have proper prevention, detection, investigation, and prosecution of crimes. So for this, we need proper digital technology, we need proper information sharing, and as well as proper international police cooperation, especially we need foreign located evidence. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said. And even we need a close and real-time coordination among law enforcement agencies globally so that we can address the threats of terrorism, terror financing, transnational organized networks, same online radicalization, cyber crimes, human trafficking, wild or environmental crimes, laundering of animals parts. Okay, so those things can be easily addressed. Clear? So this thing which mainly talked in Interpol 10th conference, and actually our CBA Academy joined Interpol Global Academy Network in August 2023. So there might be a question regarding this point, so that I included this. So you can make a note somewhere that even CBA Academy also joined this Interpol. Okay, there is an interconnection between this Interpol and as well as CBI. Okay, so see this article, the Food Security Act has revamped the PDS. So what is the keyword? Food Security Act. So what is that Food Security Act? National Food Security Act. What is the year? You have to remember years. 2013. And what is this PDS? Public Distribution System. What is that PDS system is about? Mm. Okay, so actually this article is saying that we are ensuring food security through this PDS. Will you accept it or not? Yes or no? Yes. So can you give me some examples how this PDS is ensuring food security? But I can give you some challenges. Tell me this point, like how this PDS is ensuring food security. Yes, we can achieve sustainable development goals like first one, SDG 1, SDG 2. Apart from that, okay, can you tell me what are the problems in this food security and PDS? Come on, tell me. What are the problems? At least tell me what are the problems in PDS? Problems in PDS. Mm. Okay, less quality of food. Next. So there are many leakages. So can you tell me this elaboration on this point? What are the leakages we are having in this PDS? So because today's article it is about leakages only. Mm. So we have black marketing. Yes or no? Next. So black marketing from the side of fair price shop and even from people also. People they will be getting this food grains and they will be selling in the black market. So they are getting price like 1 rupee or 2 rupees per kg and they will be selling 10 or 15 rupees per kg. Next. 50. Okay, I don't know exact price. Okay, next tell me. Black marketing next. So even we are having delayed census. So because of this delayed census, many people they are out of this National Food Security Act. But actually the people who wants this, they are not getting this. Next. Come on, think about challenges. Okay, no proper administration. Administration in sense, be specific. Mm-hmm. Okay, there is lack of data regarding how much amount of food they are getting and how much they are giving. Okay, next. Okay, so problem here is no proper surveillance and monitoring. Tell me, Nadisha. Mm. Okay, so there is no proper targeting of people you are missing on this. Okay, now let us see this article. So this article is saying that we have this National Food Security Act, which is aiming to improve PDS system in our country. But actually, whatever the inefficiencies are there earlier, so we had tried to reduce those inefficiencies so that we are trying to provide food security under this National Food Security Act. So now let us see how we reduce this leakages. So there is improved efficiency, reduction of the PDS leakages that had decreased from 41% to 21%. That means whatever the reforms we did in the recent years, especially we started using AI, we started using proper tracking of vehicle. Like, do you know how this government is providing this PDS? Any idea? So we have farmers. So in village, we have farmers. So these farmers will be producing, for example, rice or wheat. So from this farm, yeah, we know about this MSP, right? minimum support price. So why government is giving this minimum support price? To ensure food security. It is a primary objective. So here government is providing MSP. That means government will be buying this produce from the farmers directly. So it is not at all the government, it is FCI. Food Corporation of India will be buying this produce from these farmers at this MSP. And after buying this, so this food grains will be stored in godowns. And actually many of the food will be getting rotten and wasted because of rodent, but it is another case. So after once this godown is filled with this food grains, so from this FCI godowns, so there will be lorries or trucks and they will be carrying this loads of this food grains to fair price shops. That is nothing but ration shops. So actually now you have to know about AP government. So how many of you are from AP? You know about what are the reforms did by your AP government, right? So once this vehicle that started from this FCI, so there will be tracking. So even they will be saying like in which place it had been stopped and how much time they had been stopped. And after reaching this this fair price shop, there will be also the proper tracking of amount of food grains they had took. And after once this food grains had been received, so directly from this fair price shop, so the targeted beneficiary from that shop will be getting message like, so this food had loaded in this fair price shop and they will be giving the date, specific date for the targeted people, and on that day they have to go to this shop and they have to bring their ration and they have to use their thumb impression. So in this way, many states, actually the first state came up with this type of development is AP, but after that many states are following in this same way, and even in our Telangana state also, to get this ration, thumb impression is compulsory. So by these reforms, at least we decreased this leakages. So this article is saying that from 47% we decrease it to 22%. But even though there are some leakages in some states, we have to curtail that. Okay. And because of this decreasing of leakages, what happens? We can increase efficiency of food distribution, and so that we can increase food security. And next one here is we can show that some states are success in reforms like AP, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. So they are focusing on local governance, and also they are focusing on reforms in this PDS system, so that there is increasing of performance in this PDS system. And next one here is even there is increased access of this NFSA, that is National Food Security Act. So about 70% of the houses in our country, they are getting this PDS system, so that it is having the positive impact on the food access. But we don't know on another side what they are doing, whether they are eating or not, whether they are using black marketing or not, we don't know. And next one here is even one more scam that I saw in especially rice mills. So what they did is, I don't know whether I have to say this here or not, but it is my responsibility to say what is happening practically. So we have this rice mill owners, right? So they will be buying this this ration food or food grains, and they will be again go for repolishing that, and again they will be sending us the new form of rice. So this is happening particularly in our village. I am also one of the evidence of that. Okay, so here in this way also there are lots of the things which are happening, but they are unethical practices. So that we will be discussing in our ethics classes, like what is happening in reality, what you have to do, and I want to shape your personality. Okay. Yes, let us see this article. And even many states, they are using this digitalization, and because of this digitalization which had been used by AP government, that reduced this leakages and that reduced inefficiencies, and even improving of transparency in this food distribution. And even there are beneficiaries, non-NFSA, that is Non-Food Security Act beneficiaries. So the presence of significant number of these people, which highlights that yes, there are some complexities in our food distribution, because of lack of our census. So many people, they are out of it. They are eligible to get this food grains, but they are not getting this because of complexities in our food distribution, because of complexities in our census making process. So here this article is saying that yes, we need to come up with the continuous reforms in our PDS system, so that we can maintain and we can build the success of NFSA. Okay, so that is the thing. So say this article, Africa can make India's critical mineral mission. So recently in our budget, our government came up with this critical mineral mission. So we have to know about that. So tell me, what are these critical minerals? What is the meaning of critical minerals? Why we are calling it as critical minerals? Hmm? Critical minerals. For what? It is important. For what? Semiconductors. So what will happen if you're not having access to these critical minerals? Come on, I'm giving clues. You have to say. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So critical minerals are very essential for economic development. I gave this question, I think so, way back. Okay, these are very important for economic development and national security, and they are very vital for development of materials which are useful in our defense, which are useful in our aerospace, nuclear, and space applications. So without these critical minerals, we don't have achievement in this defense technology. We are not going to excel in this nuclear technology or aerospace or any space applications. You know that in this new space era, India is running. So if you're not having this means, so this space related economy will be gone. So actually, so these critical minerals, why we are focusing on this? Because the availability is less and even there is no proper supply chain. So because some countries are having this, but even though despite of less resources, so they don't want to share with other countries. So if you want to get these critical minerals, we need to have good strong bond like Fevicol. Then only we will be getting this. So because of this, India is focusing on the countries which are having these critical minerals, especially that will be helpful for our development. It is our greed only. Okay. So here, actually, the problem here is there is risk of supply chain vulnerability, and there are disruptions in this, and there is lack of proper availability, and only concentration is very less, and even extraction of this materials will be also very costly, and even sometimes it is infeasible. So these are the problems with these critical minerals. So these are the examples. Can you see here? We have antimony, beryllium, bismuth, cobalt, copper, gallium, germanium, graphite, hafnium, indium. So you have to know each and everything because you can get a question like which of the following are critical minerals. Okay. So actually already in 2023 there was question regarding this critical minerals. Which of the following are critical minerals? So again there may be a chance. So what is the importance of these critical minerals for India? So it will be helpful for our economic development. For example, for high-tech electronic industries, communication, transport, and defense, yes, we will be heavily dependent on these minerals. And next one here is whenever we are excelling in these industries and we are going for expansion means obviously it will create employment generation, income generation, innovation. Okay. For example, we can also give a push for semiconductor industries in our country. And next one here is for energy transition towards net zero emissions, we need to go for new technologies like solar panels, turbines, advanced batteries. For this also we need this critical minerals. And next one is to become India as a competitive value chain. Yes, we need this critical minerals. Okay, and especially if you want to attract more direct investments, if you're having the development in this critical mineral sector, obviously we can get this and India can become China plus one strategy. And this one is even for our national security, it is very important that we have to maintain our defense equipments and even nuclear develop technology and space applications. So for that, we need high quality and reliable critical minerals. And this one is if you want to reduce this income or sorry import bill also, we have to focus on this because if you're getting directly the finished goods, obviously the price will be more. So if you're getting raw material of this critical minerals and if you're focusing on development, obviously it will be decreasing your import bill. So in this way, we are having lots and lots of advantages if you're focusing on this critical minerals mission which came up by our budget. Clear? Yes, say this article. Income inequality. Yesterday itself, we discussed this. ILO's World Employment Social Outlook study said that yes, there is a risk of jobs because of inclusion of AI. So here it is giving some way forward like for more jobs and higher taxes can counter effects of automation. So rather than going for automation, we can go for creation of more jobs and even more tax. And next article, it is about anti-Naxalite operations. So here what are the things that we can do to control this Naxal movements? What is the way forward? Okay, increase in facilities, especially we need to focus on development. So that had been done in recent central government and Tripura agreement, right? So the same way we can include these two articles together and we can write the way forward. And here you have to see what are the government initiatives taken to control this Naxal movements in India. Okay, so that is also the old article. Here you can see what is the vertical fiscal imbalance. You know that we have 15th Finance Commission which had been recommended that states incur 61% of revenue expenditure, but they are only collecting 38%. That means what are the money that they are getting from center to state, there is imbalance. So amount they are spending is more compared to the amount they are getting. So we are having vertical imbalance. So here at least we are going to have the 16th Finance Commission soon. Okay, so at least this 16th Finance Commission need to take this issue under consideration and it have to improve the vertical devolution for the states. Clear? And see this article, can Kerala access funds from loss and damage fund? So actually what happened in Kerala in Wayanad? Yes, so at that time they said that this disaster should be determined as a natural disaster. So whenever any disaster is recognized as a natural disaster, they will be getting more amount of funds from center. So the funds they will be getting from this loss and damage fund. Okay. So this loss and damage fund, when it was established, it is established at 2022 UNFC conference, that is COP27. In this COP27, this fund had been got in Egypt. And this fund is focusing on giving support to the regions they are suffering from economic and non-economic losses caused by climate change. And these extreme weather events includes even rising of sea level. Okay, so those things that you have to remember. What is this loss and damage fund and whether this Kerala is going to get the funds under this or not. So if you see the gist, so loss and damage fund established in 2022 UNFCCC conference of COP, that is Conference of Parties 27 in Egypt, and they want to provide financial support to the regions which are suffering both economic and as well as non-economic losses which are caused because of climate change. And India has suffered around $56 billion in damage from weather-related disasters from 2019 to 2023. So despite of this, India prioritized only on mitigation activities over adaptation of its national climate action policy and budget. So rather than focusing on what are the policies are there, so just we focused on just mitigation activities. Okay, so that is one problem in our country. And next one here is adaptation and loss and damage needs are more accurately felt at the ground level by the state governments. And for this also, who bear the amount? That is state governments. So because of this, always state governments which are having more vulnerable disasters, so they are having this financial burden. So they are not getting the proper funds. So you have to think that if you are writing about any disaster in your answer, so try to include loss and disaster fund also, loss and damage fund. So which had been created under COP27. So we have to get funds from that so that we can decrease the financial burden on the state government. So try to interlink these things in your answers for sure. And see this article in China-Africa Summit. So recently, China-Africa Summit had happened and now China wants to increase its policy in Africa. And they said that we are going to give $50 billion funds to Africa and they want to increase employment opportunities in this Africa. So it is also one cause of concern for again India, because you know that recently with South Africa, in yesterday itself we discussed that we signed an agreement for submarine rescue mission, right? So within that happiness, again China is there here. So we have to think what will be the impact of this summit on India. Okay, so in this way you have to cover your current affairs. So these are the important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. I hope this analysis will be helpful for your preparation. If you like this, please hit the like button and please to share this class to your friends and subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. Thank you.